There's no safe nonstick pans, but I'm going to show you what you can do, because what you're looking for is something that is easy to cook with, right? So I'm going to tell you all the tricks. So there is no safe nonstick pan. Okay, nonstick means that there's some sort of synthetic coating that's applied to that pan. Anytime there's a coating, that just means you're going to end up eating it. Right? And so if you are going to have any sort of coating on that pan, you want it to be something that your body's going to be able to ingest, basically. And unfortunately, none of those synthetic coatings are safe for you. And this is not something that people knew a long time ago. We didn't even have the technology really to determine what it was doing to our bodies. There's two main types of nonstick pans. You have Teflon pans, PTFE, Teflon, that's PFAS, the toxic forever chemical, and then you have ceramic nonstick pans, okay? So there's lots of drama going years back. I won't go way into it, but essentially, you know, the Teflon manufacturers, even though that coating always came off, and even when PFAS were determined to be super toxic, they use these excuses like, well, you know, oh, the molecules are too big for your body to digest, it would just go straight through you. But that's totally not true. There have now been tons of studies that have found Teflon microplastics all on the inside of our body. It is directly correlated with like sperm quality. There was a study recently this year where they found that basically the more Teflon microplastics that men had in their bodies, the worse their sperm quality, the more infertile they were, right? But then ceramic nonstick, those are just made with different kinds of tiny, tiny particles. These are made with either silicon dioxide or titanium dioxide nanoparticles. And any tiny particle means it can get into your body and infiltrate the cells, the tissue in any part of your body, and cause inflammation and mess it up. So if there's a coating that is on a pan, that means you're going to eat it. And you have to be super delicate with them. So, you know, when you cook with stick pans, which by the way, I really hate that duality of like stick and like non-stick, because my stick pans, like things don't stick and they're extremely easy to clean. And so the best kinds of those stick pans are stainless steel or cast iron. Those are my go-tos. However, carbon steel is just as good as well. There's a lot out there. How you cook with those, which might be a little bit different than when you cook with a non-stick pan, is you just got to get the pan hot before you put things in. But you put a neutral cooking oil in. I usually use avocado oil or coconut oil or like a neutral olive oil, right? Not extra virgin. You just wait until that oil becomes more fluid and moves around. And then once it's heated, so heating a pan means you typically put it on the heat, usually like 1 to 2, maybe 3 minutes, depending on your setup, right? Because everyone's stove is a little bit different. And depending on your pan, you wait for your pan to heat up. And then once it's hot, you turn that heat down to like a medium. The word sauté comes from sauter, which is to jump in French. I'm sorry, I probably butchered that, but I don't speak French. So you want to imagine the pan should be hot enough for things to jump in the pan when you put it in, when you're doing vegetables and all of that. And it should be fast. You should cook things quickly. You can really do anything in these pans and you don't have to worry about hurting them. You can make carbon steel and cast iron pans basically non-stick, and like taking a towel, getting a little oil and wiping it on the inside and then baking it in your oven for 300 degrees for like a few hours, okay? If you do that multiple times over and over again, it will create like more of a nonstick coating on its own. It's never going to be like a nonstick, right? Like you would get with Teflon or something, but I don't think you really want that anyway. This is what I use to scrub my pans with. It takes like literally, I've never scrubbed a pan for more than 30 seconds to a minute. Like I never have to. I've had my all-clad tri-ply pans for 15 years. And they work just as well, and they always will. So here's some of my favorite brands of stainless steel and carbon steel and cast iron.